Y'all, the drama in the Braxton family is wilder than we expected, cause someone tell me why Trina Braxton's husband, Von Scales, is beefing with her sister Tracy. You know Traci Braxton, who passed away in 2022. Having beef with your sister-in-law is one thing, but holding on to the beef after she passed away is some nasty business. And here we were thinking that it couldn't possibly get any messier than Tamar's situation with her white man Jeremy Robinson. However, it looks like this mess between Trina and V is about to blow up even more, because Trina just called V out on his BS. And she is not about to let him get away with this. In case y'all missed it, the Braxton family has a new reality TV show. And no, it's not The Braxton Family Values. Their new show is called The Braxton, and it also features their mom, Evelyn. Only a few episodes of the show have been released so far, and it mostly focuses on how the family is coping with the passing of their sister Tracy in 2022. They're all grieving differently, and they have been having group grief therapy sessions with a therapist named Spirit, who has been helping them work through their issues. For context, Tracy tragically passed away in 2022 after battling esophageal cancer. She chose to keep her health situation private, so no one really knows when she got her cancer diagnosis except for her family and close friends, and they're keeping it private just like she wanted. But the word on the street is that she found out at least a year before she passed. However, there were signs that something just wasn't right. For example, in July 2021, Tracy posted a picture from her son Kevin's wedding. In the photo, it's clear she had lost a noticeable amount of weight back then. We had no clue about the private battle she was fighting. It was obvious something was up, but we just didn't know what it really was. She was heavily trolled by internet users. I'm not going to call them fans, because no real fan is going to do something that horrible. People were mean to her, and they shamed her for going too far in her weight loss journey. For example, this person tweeted, "Is Traci Braxton Siddick? And that daughter-in-law Olivia surely picked up some weight. She must have picked up the weight Tracy lost. That was just plain nasty." There were so many mean, hateful comments that she eventually had to turn off comments on her Instagram because people just couldn't stop trolling and making fun of her. She passed away in March, and her sister Toni Braxton released a statement on behalf of the family where she said, "It is with the utmost regret that we inform you of the passing of our sister Tracy. Needless to say, she was a bright light, a wonderful daughter, an amazing sister, a loving mother, wife, grandmother, and a respected performer. We will miss her dearly." Tracy passed this morning as the snow was falling. Our angel is now a snowflake. We ask that you respect our privacy as we plan to send her home with love, celebrating her life. We are family forever. Love, the Braxton family. Losing a child or sibling is never an easy thing to go through, and it's not surprising that the sisters and their mom are still grieving Tracy's loss. In the last episode of their show, they opened up about this, and Trina even had to go to a special obsession with the therapist Spirit. But for some reason, Trina's husband V felt a type of way about this, and he somehow ended up making the whole thing about himself. Turns out that after he found out about Trina's special therapy session with Spirit, Van kind of picked a fight with her about how the way she grieved for Tracy reminded him of how she grieved for her ex-husband Gabriel Salas. For context, Trina and Gabriel were married for 10 years between 2003 and 2013, but their divorce wasn't finalized until 2015. While they were married, and even after their divorce, Gabriel helped her raise her two sons. He unfortunately passed away in 2018 from pancreatic cancer, and Trina was crushed at the time. She was already dating her now husband Vaughn, and while he didn't say anything at the time, it turns out that he felt salty and jealous of the fact that Trina was grieving her ex. And as weird as it sounds, it looks like he also felt a way about how hard Trina is grieving for Tracy. After the last episode of The Braxton, he and Trina went live on their podcast, and it soon got messed because Trina admitted that she felt like V punished her for mourning her ex.
You felt that I punished you.
Yes. And then I said that Vaughn didn't realize that I loved him for real, and I loved him, and I chose him.
You're putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm saying what I'm recapping. So now with that recap, what do you have to say?
Yeah, okay, first off, what you said was really jumbled. But what was said on the
episode,
is that she felt like she was punished for grieving. And that was absolutely true. Yeah, I was angry because, and since we're having this conversation, and here's the thing, this wasn't my idea.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me
I did.
if we would talk about this tonight.
I did.
And anybody that knows me knows that I don't bite my tongue because I don't really care what people think of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to say it. If you want my honest opinion,
Yes.
I don't see a lot of difference between the way you grieved
For Tracy and Gabe, it looked the same to me. There was a little more heat behind Tracy, of course, because it's your sister. But it didn't, to me, and I had nothing to measure it against when Gabe died, so I didn't know anything, but I knew I didn't like it. Because to me,
the grief seemed
too strong for someone you'd had all those problems with. That's my opinion, because that's the way I look at the world. Now, we had a number of conversations about it. We had a number of arguments about it. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until Tracy passed and I had time to reflect, probably sitting, on a mountain somewhere by myself, and I'm like, you know what? Those two
That's just weird, and it kind of sounded like he was guilt-tripping her for mourning for Tracy for so long, which is just weird. We don't have the full story on what his relationship with Tracy was before she passed, but even if they did have their issues, he should be over it by now, because it has been 2 years since she passed. Fans commented this was unsettling. How are you jealous of a man that's no longer alive? And who are you to compare instances where a woman grieves? Trina lost not only her sister to an illness, but Gabe, who, despite his infidelity and issues, actually had history with her, to pick up grievances and compare them seems sociopath AC and a red flag. Vaughn does not have the emotional maturity or capacity or media training to have this conversation in front of an audience. Also, Van not supporting Trina through disenfranchised grief because he's never been friends with any of his exes says more about V than Trina. And I'm convinced V doesn't like Trina the way he talks and looks at her when they're cooking. I stopped watching. He seems on camera.